What can you not imagine? Chant the Gatha on opening the sutras. This Dharma, incomparably profound and minutely subtle, is rarely encountered, even in hundreds of thousands of millions of ages. Now we see it, hear it, hold and maintain it. May we completely realize the true mind of all Buddhas. Okay, sit comfortably. Have a cold beverage if you like. For tonight, to bring us the true Dharma eye will be our brother Hengdal Chita.
Master Kobong once again made his way to the front of the hall and seated himself. He looked out upon the assembly and he said, "Inside it is bright. Outside it is also bright. Wherever it is bright. What is it?" Sid, seated at the front of the assembly, said, "It is a hangover." Kobong audibly sighed and said, "Okay, Sid, actualize the hangover for me." Sid reached into his robe, pulled out a pair of mirrored shades, and put them on. Now it is not so bright. Kobong looked at Sid and said, "Sid, what am I going to do with you?" "Master, if you give me your staff, I will hit myself 30 times with it. How is that?" Kobong said, "Sid, what do I need to do to convince you to go study with someone else for a while?" We'll come back to Kobong in a minute. I found a great quote that I thought worked well with this, the last part of Kobong's statement, "What is it?" And of course, the famous chorus in Son meditation. What is it? What is this? Kushan was asked, "What is the basic object of investigation?" And he replied, "How has one gotten to such a state?" What is the state? What is the one who's gotten to it? What is our field of practice? People make the mistake of waiting for ideal conditions in which to practice. Kushan is saying, "How have you gotten into such a state?" The implication may not be great. The ideal condition is both something that never happens and something that happens every day, every moment, every breath. For some people, maybe you actually walk into a Zendo and everything's beautiful and the teacher's awesome and none of the other guys meditating get on your nerves and nobody's snoring and you're not allergic to the flowers on the altar and you don't go into an asthma attack from the incense. But the reality is life is frequently not like that. In one of our bodhisattva vows, we have usually some variation of, Dharma gates are endless. I vow to enter into all of them. Our version, opportunities to awaken. I vow to embrace them all. Those Dharma gates, those opportunities are not, while they can be, the beautiful moments, the wondrous moments, the flowers raining from the heavens upon the assemblage of Buddhas. Those Dharma gates we enter upon, those fields of practice we wander into, are equally thorns as flowers. It's the anxiety attack. It's the idiot who just cut you off in traffic. It's the friend who's passed on. It's the boss who you're angry with. Those are all Dharma gates as well. Everything that we enter into, everything that is an opportunity to say, how has one gotten into such a state, and what is this state, and who has gotten to it? When Kobang gave his little koan there, he gave an explanation also. When gold is in the ground, it is bright. If you put gold into a hot furnace, it is bright. After being in the furnace, gold is still bright. Before it went through the furnace, it could not be made into anything. Also, when in the furnace, it could not be used. But after it comes out of the furnace, we can use it to make many things. What is the furnace? The furnace is the paramitas. Kobang taught about the diamond paramita, the perfection of the paramitas. So if we take this example and we say, okay, what is the goal? Well, for the sake of arguing, let's say the goal is the Buddha nature we're always talking about. I loved an analogy that our brother Mike gave about muscles. You don't get muscles, they're there. You build them up, you exercise, you let them go, they atrophy. So in this case, let's say the gold is the Buddha nature, it's there. What can you make of it in the ground? Nothing. Even as you're working out in the furnace, nothing. When it comes out, when you run it through the furnace of the paramita, when you examine that gold, when you remove the dross, when you remove the ground, and you work it, what is produced? Well, there's other tools too. The hammer, the crucible, the mold, whatever you use to form the gold, and that is our daily life. That is our daily experiences. We may be running it through the furnace of perfection, but what we're running through that furnace, what we're using to shape that gold, is what we experience, what we do with it, how we react to it, and when ultimately we realize we are not we. There is an experience. And the experience and the experiencer are not separate. Like studies in modern physics where particles react to the observer. These are all the fields of practice. These are all the Dharma gates. Even the triple poison, even the things that we're uprooting and pulling away are Dharma gates if we use them properly, if we work with them, if we look at them, if we examine them. I think about an old silly movie, Airplane. Leslie Nielsen is the pilot and he's dripping sweat and the plane's crashing and people are going crazy. And he's like, oh, I picked a hell of a week to quit drinking. I picked a hell of a week to quit sniffing glue. And it keeps cutting back to him over and over again. Because that's the point. We're always saying, I can't do it today. I can't do it now. I can't cope with this now. I can't face this problem now. I can't face my own life now. I can't face not being able to imagine myself. Now is it. Now is the furnace. Now is the crucible. Now is the anvil and the hammer and the gold and everything that we're doing. Every moment, that's the field of our practice. That's our specialty as a counselor because we're the counselor and the student and the patient. And hopefully we have a teacher and a textbook that help us get to that point. But the field of practice is the specialty, and the specialty is what we're studying. And what we're studying is how has one gotten to such a state. That's the study. Tahui went on, and I've become fascinated with some of his writings. We've talked a lot about the instructions for the lay practitioner, which ultimately in the West, almost all of us really are. Tahui said, if you are a real man of wisdom, you will use the power of the path as an instrument to clear away the power of habitual action. That's not just the power of the path of Son or our teaching, it's the path that we walk along. That's the power that's presented. We use it. And once used, we set it on the altar, we bow to it, and we move on to the next opportunity to practice, to the next field of practice, to the next Dharma gate we're going to walk through, because it doesn't stop. We don't just arrive and say, hey, cool, got me some Dharma now. Peace out, y'all.
Thank you, Brother Hangdal. So we will go back to our next period of seated meditation. What happens after you die? Let's chant the Heart Sutra. Mahaprajna Paramita Hridaya Sutra Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, when practicing deeply the Prajna Paramita, perceives that all five skandhas are empty and is saved from all suffering and distress. Shariputra, form does not differ from emptiness. Emptiness does not differ from form. That which is form is emptiness. That which is emptiness, form. The same is true of feelings, perceptions, impulses, consciousness. Shariputra, all dharmas are marked with emptiness. They do not appear or disappear, are not tainted or pure, do not increase or decrease. Therefore in emptiness, no form, no feelings, perceptions, impulses, consciousness, no eyes, no ears, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no color, no sound, no smell, no taste, no touch, no object of mind, no realm of eyes, and so forth, till no realm of mind consciousness, no ignorance, and also no extinction of it, and so forth, until no old age and death, and also no extinction of them, no suffering, no origination, no stopping, no path, no cognition, also no attainment, with nothing to attain. The Bodhisattva depends on Prajna Paramita, and the mind is no hindrance. Without any hindrance, no fears exist. Far apart from every perverted view, one dwells in nirvana. In the three worlds, all Buddhas depend on Prajna Paramita and attain Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. Therefore know that Prajna Paramita is the great transcendent mantra, is the great bright mantra, is the utmost mantra, is the supreme mantra, which is able to relieve all suffering and is true, not false. So proclaim the Prajna Paramita mantra. Proclaim the mantra which says Gate Gate Para Gate Parasamgate Bodhisvaha. Gate Gate Para Gate Parasamgate Bodhisvaha. Gate Gate Para Gate Parasamgate Bodhisvaha. We'll do our personal dedications of merit. I've got a couple of people to dedicate merit to, and I will leave some space for you to add some in yourself. All sentient beings are one seamless body and pass quickly from birth to death. We remember those who cared for us and are gone, those who are ill, those who are at war, who are hungry and who are in pain. May they heal and have peace. We especially dedicate our service to Davis K.K. Lee, Mrs. Lee, Thomas Bishop, Neinthan Sunisuk, Mike Gingy Wood, Iris MacDonald. You can add in anyone you'd like to now.
Emily Epstein.
Doug.
Any others?
Clarice Ferreira and Joanne Sheridan, Bailey Sheridan. For Iris McDonald, could we please chant Jijang Bozel as she passed away a few days ago?
All beings in the 10 directions, subject to the greed, hatred, and delusions of themselves and others. All Buddhas throughout space and time, all honored ones, Bodhisattva Mahasattvas, wisdom beyond wisdom, Maha Prajna Paramita. And we'll be sure to chant Namu Jijang Boso for Iris, for you, Kevin. Recite our
Kwanzaa
faith
Boso
and
for the
practice
family.
vow. I will never retreat and will be firm in my mind in this correct Dharma. I will escape from the samsaric cycle of birth and death and will definitely see my original face. I will be sure to inherit the life of insight of the Buddha and save all sentient beings. Brother Hangdal.
Infinite realms of light and dark convey the Buddha mind. Birds and trees and stars and we ourselves come forth in perfect harmony. We practice and recite this for all beings in grateful thanks to our many guides along the way.
And we'll recite the 4 great Bodhisattva vows. Sentient beings are numberless. We vow to help them all. Delusions are countless. We vow to see through them all. Opportunities to awaken are infinite. We vow to embrace them all. The Buddha way is endless. We vow to embody it. Life and death are of supreme importance. Time passes swiftly by and opportunities to awaken are easily lost. Strive to realize your true nature and do not squander your time by night or day.